Industry wherein you don't get results every day, and it's a very long drawn process, and which creates a lot of stress. By doing meditation, the stress level became zero.
After doing this course, I've learned a lot of things. I've started being very calm. When I get up, usually I would be like very tense, a lot of stress. But now when I get up, I have always a smile on my face. I always have a positive word when I get up. That is the best thing which I experience every morning now after doing meditation.
I've been struggling for past 5 to 6 years, because of our belief systems. There wasn't clarity about certain important decisions that I had to make in my life. And during this 40 days, I realized that this is it. And I think I'm able to make that decision. So I'm very, very grateful for that clarity.
For me, meditation has been that thing that calmed my mind, cleansed me out of those fears of anxiety of the future, right? And also helped me connect to my intuition. We all call meditation is not a technique, meditation is a practice.
I was not able to sleep and I wake up in between my sleep. But yesterday when I meditate before sleeping, it was a very peaceful sleep. Like my overthinking is decreasing day by day. I think positive in every aspect. I have an anxiety issue earlier, but now it decreases.
Happy morning, dear friends and masters. Great afternoon, evening. We're talking about emotional intelligence. Developing emotional intelligence is a way to lead or a way to multiply our experience of life. The king had a very young son, 3-year-old, 2 to 3-year-old. So it takes him into forest. For, the kings go into the forest regularly. And so I take him to the forest one evening. So when they are there, very, very young toddler, so he slips out from the troop and then he goes somewhere. And, very, very short, young toddler is very short, and then it's all bushy. So in no time, they missed to see him, and he was missed from the troop. And so there is a frantic search, but they couldn't find him. So it becomes dark, and then they're trying, but they can't find him. In the meanwhile, this boy, the young prince, finds himself his way into a cave, somewhere as he's also looking out, and then he goes and then finds a cave. He goes into the cave. And he goes into the cave, and so there's no one, the search troop could not find him at all. He spends his time overnight there. The troop goes on searching, they go, and then they resume the search in the morning. But before that, some very poor laborer, two of them, wife and husband, come that side. And as it's becoming, as there is some light coming up, so they see this boy, the boy is also coming out at that point, and they see the boy, and they feel so grateful that they didn't have children, so that God sent them a child. So they take the child and go to their home. So this boy is no longer in the forest, while the search is going on for him in the forest. And it turns out to be in the neighboring kingdom, so the boy is taken to the village there. And so now the boy grows up there with them. He was very, very young, so 2-year-old, not necessarily able to communicate very well. So now his whole lifetime, he grew up with them, very unhappy, sad. Deep inside, he knew he was a prince, that he could not express to them, thinking that they're never going to believe him. So opportunities were there right in the beginning when I was very young, but that time I was confused what to do. And as he grew up, he never expressed, thinking that he'll never be believed. And then he could not come to the terms with his situation because always living in a direst of direst poor conditions. Poverty, he was living in great poverty, even though inside he knew he was a king, but then living in the poverty. So he could not accept it, and then he could not express it. So the entire life he lives a life of suffering because he never accepted. He thought he's different from what he should have been. He's living a life that is different. And neither could he express ever, thinking that nobody's going to believe him. A lot of the situations for many people are like that. We live a life, we want to live something, but then we don't. Neither do we express it. We do not have the courage to express for various reasons. We don't. The reason, the expression that we don't do many a times is because of some kind of fears and, of course, many, many limitations. It's all about fears and limitations. He was abandoned when he was young. I mean, that's how a young toddler, in case they feel the insecurities, significant amount of insecurity creeps in. Once you get separated from a parent, childhood time, very early age, and if you're separated, you get so much of insecurity sets in that what happens if I get separated again, that deep, deep insecurity, the feeling comes in. And so then thereafter, you rarely will question. And he was in that feeling, if I talk about my original self, where I am from, and then so then what have these people also, something happens and I get abandoned by them too. So he wanted that, he was clutching to their love and then their protection. As an inner child, we call it. And so then he couldn't dare to express early on. And as he grew up, then he always thought that now if he says anything that he is a prince, then nobody's going to believe him. the life is spent with that fear of losing, and the life is spent with, for many people, it's limitation. We know, but then we cannot. We have so many limiting factors that come from the fears, fundamentally, various fears. Fear of separation. There are so many limiting factors about relationships that we don't even recognize that we carry them. Somewhere deep behind them, there is some kind of fear. We are separate from each other. Fundamental limiting factor for many people. The reason we have conflicts and the reason we have conflict between people is that we believe that you are separate, I'm separate. The biggest limiting factor for anyone is that we are separate from each other. Since we're not aware of the concept that we are really the whole consciousness, so we work, we operate, and then of course, because the way we brought up, ignorance, lack of understanding, we separate. So we always see the other person separate, I'm separate. And so then we have conflicts. The reason I'm saying why we have conflicts and not have good relationships is about limiting factors. Some are about not being able to express. Many times we're not able to express, many times we have lack of understanding. That boy is not able to express, even though he knew he had a fear of losing them in the early age, and then later on he had this limitation that nobody's going to believe him. The second limiting factor is that we always think we need somebody in our life. In order to gain happiness, we need somebody always, otherwise the life is not going to be there. And so even though the relationship is not that great, we continue to live because we fundamentally believe that we need somebody. Without somebody in my life, there is no happiness. This is the belief. Now, if thoughts create reality, and then if all the research is showing that the happiness is really the way we decide here, not really from external, and so then the moment we start breaking that myth, then we start having a greater relationships. We start having greater happiness with ourselves. When we let go of that thing that I have to have somebody in my life. And so there's some way or the other hold on to it. First of all, we develop the ability to be happy by ourselves. This whole practice of meditation is helping us to do that. The more we experiment that happiness is with me, the way I view the events, what colored lens I'm having in talking to people, the more we become neutral, more plain we become, and the more understanding we gain that if you think somebody is going to cooperate with you, they do. If you think somebody is going to say good things about you, they do. If you think they're going to be nice to you, they do. The more you experiment about thoughts create reality, the more you come to the conclusion that it is me who is deciding on my happiness. We need to bind on to somebody. We need to bind. I have to hold on to this relationship, this person. There's another limiting factor. There is fundamentally mistrust. Now we have relationship, we have fundamental mistrust. Because the mistrust as a fear is there, we don't trust. So there is a fear that this person may go away, do something. So there's a mistrust is there. So then fundamentally you are binding and saying, why did you come late? Why did you not tell me? If you're coming late, why did you not tell me? Where did you go? Mistrust is there. Behind the deeper inside, we don't trust each other. And so then we come to the conclusion that I have to bind this person and then they have to behave the way I want them to. If mother is saying that to the child, and then the husband is telling the wife, or the other vice versa, and of course between daughter and mom, or so many times it's happening. We don't trust, and so then it translates to binding. You have to follow certain guidelines, and so that leads to conflicts, and so that leads to, of course, less experience. When people are together, the more experience. And then give and take is a must, is another limiting belief. We just have been told, hey, you're living, so you have to take. Give and take is there. Give and take is there, but you give first, not take. Unconditional giving is where we go. You say, I did it. You are my spouse, you're supposed to do, you're expected to do this. You're expected to do, I've done this, my part of my work, then why do you do your part of it? There's no full understanding. First of all, when we understand this, when we recognize we are complete by ourselves, the happiness from inside, it won't matter. We start giving unconditionally. Give and take is a must translate to unconditional giving. You give because you're happy. I did this for you, you do this for me. It's a bargain all the time between, the great relationships. This is another fundamental limiting factor that leads towards conflicts, that leads towards not having great relationships. There's so many limiting factors. Our relationships are more important than my self-growth. This starts becoming more and more stronger. You have a lot of interest towards the music. You have interest to go and then meet your friends regularly. You have interest to pursue some studies, but then other person does not agree and say, oh, I cannot express it because my relationship is more important. If I say something, it's going to damage the relationship. So then we suppress ourselves. Your self-growth is tuned in. You're tuning in. Our soul is fundamentally, we're tuned into our soul's deep desire. So then the feelings keep coming up, what's important to you, but then you don't express it because you feel fearful that if I express it, then the relationship gets suffered. So that means it's okay. Let me just accept whatever is there. Forcefully we accept with this notion that relationships are more important than self-growth. So we're never happy from a deep inside because we don't do things that we deeply, deeply wanted to do. And so we simply adjust, because we know it. Then if it's all about living life happily, and then if you know that if we are happy, people around us naturally will be happy. If we understand these fundamental principles, then we give more importance to our growth, our deep interests. That myth, that relationship, that limiting factor has to be broken. Even after coming to meditation, many are not able to muster the courage to take that step, thinking that it's going to strain the relationship. But those who crossed over, those who made the decision and say, I'm going to stand up and ask for what I need. When there is a change, the change is always going to be very tough initially because you've got to just put a lot of energy. You've got to go beyond a level of energy that is normal, that goes between two relationships in any place. You've got to give a lot higher energy to start it. It's going to be tough in the beginning. And it'll get messy in the middle. Robin Sharma says change is tough in the middle, tough in the beginning, messy in the middle, and then wonderful in the end. So you got to ask, you got to have a discussion, say, you know what, I've lived this for next 10 years or whatever, but this is so important to me. I've got to take 2 hours, and I'm going to sit down for music practice. Other person going to say something. We talked about this positive pressure. We don't become arrogant and say, I know it all now, I'm just going to follow my feeling. But then come back and then have the conversation again patiently. But then do it. Now the other person may agree and they are also fearful. Now what is this person doing here? Oh, suddenly after 20 years now revolting in a family. Oh, because this meditation is causing that extra courage, I need to see how to stop her from meditating. Because she's taking all these decisions now. That worry will become. Suddenly you'll say, no non-vegetarian, I'm sorry. My heart does not tell me. And so it causes a lot of disturbance in the family, many people. They're going to say that. They're going to tell you, they're going to tell many ways of how you should not meditate because that's what is causing. But you start aligning and you start developing such a compassion that you feel that you must not be part of this whole process. From eating to killing to allowing to eat to cooking to supplying to serving to many things. Relationships are more important than self-growth is fundamental limiting factor that stops us from taking an action. And the last thing, relationship is horrible for years, there's always conflict and confusion. And then we carry this notion that breaking up is going to lead to more problems. It leads to more suffering because of societal dogma. Society is going to say this and that, and so then we never take an action, and we try to put up with whatever horrible relationship is. There's no joy at all in the relationship, but we hold on to this belief because we've been too conditioned. The society stigma that you break up is going to lead to more suffering, more problems, and so might as well be here. We learn from, we require, number one, we understand, have this understanding about limiting factors in relationships. There's so many limiting factors about money, so money does not come. So many different relationships, so the relationships are continue to be not so great. We need to understand on one side, and then of course meditate more, then we develop the courage to express, the courage to make a change in our life with respect to that, whatever that is. Let's go into a meditation, dear friends. We're practicing breath mindfulness meditation. Our goal is to empty the mind, and we do this by simply observing our normal, natural breath with our eyes closed. As you see in the picture, with your eyes closed, fingers into fingers, hands in your lap, comfortably rested. Observe your natural breath anywhere on the nose as a reference point. When you observe the breath, slowly your mind becomes empty. The thoughts are coming down, mind becomes empty. As mind is empty, you may experience sensations, moments, we call the feeling of energy, experience of energy. It happen. If it happens, if anything inherently happens in your body, observe that experience. Do not interpret it. So you're observing the breath, slowly, slowly, mind is becoming empty of thought. Then you're experiencing some kind of emptiness, be there. You may not find your breath at that point. You may not sense the breath. You may not notice the breath. You are in this total emptiness, be there. That's the state you want to be. That emptiness slowly may turn into some kind of sensation or energy, movement, and then observe it, witness it, do not interpret it. In case at any time of this whole process, if you have thought, if you have actively thinking, that's the time to bring your attention back to the breath and again observe the breath. And again, slowly go into the empty states. The cycle repeats. Called breath mindfulness meditation. Before we do this, we're doing a small process called heart elevation to go into deeper states of this meditation. So we do this for a few minutes and then we go into breath mindfulness meditation for heart elevation process. Just follow my guidance, dear friends. Relax yourself. Sit comfortably. Remove your spectacles. Relax your body. Dear friends, dear masters, with your specs removed, eyes closed, keep your hands on your chest area, your attention on your sacred heart. And with a slow, long, relaxing breath, can you feel your beautiful heart feel the center of all emotions, nurturing your whole life with its energies of love, joy, gratitude. Can you recollect an experience from your past or from your present or from your vision of your future of enormous love, gratitude, compassion? Relive that moment and feel that emotion, feel that energy. Relive that moment of love, of joy, and feel that energy. And can you radiate this energy to everything and everybody to help them heal, to help them become their best versions? Where your attention goes, there your energy flows. Come on, dear friends. connect with your heart center, and relive a moment of love from your life, and make an intention to send that energy to everybody. Feel it. We are all deeply interconnected. Deep inside, we are specks of energy, intricately connected with each other. And slowly, let's go into breath mindfulness meditation. With your fingers into fingers, hands comfortably rested in your lap. Observe your normal, natural in-breath and the out-breath, dear friends. We are in a powerful group meditation. Our goal is to empty the mind when you observe your breath. You slowly, your mind becomes empty. When our mind is becoming empty, we experience that greater emptiness, the quantum field of energy, the consciousness. Allow yourself to merge into your breath and allow yourself to experience that emptiness. That infinite depth of that emptiness spreading far and wide. All emptiness is energy. This is the quantum field of limitless possibilities. The field of awareness. The field of wisdom. The longer you stay connected to this emptiness, this energy, the more insightful you become, the more mindful you become. stay aware of that emptiness, that void of no body, of no thing. Merge into this emptiness. And allow yourself to experience that energy. Merge into the emptiness of yourself. This is your divine self. The field of wholeness, connectedness.
can change the world one heart at a time. We can change the world one heart at a time. I see you, I know you, you're a part of me. We can change the world one heart at a time. We can change the world one heart at a time. I see you, I know you, you're
Recollect your experiences from the session. And whenever you're ready, you can keep your hands on your eyes for 5 seconds. And then you may open your eyes. Okay, dear friends. We may see many things as part of this emptiness, the field. When we are in this meditation, there may be many visions. There may be some kind of visions, flashes, sounds, feelings that are experienced. The field of unknown, because this is infinite, practically not possible to know it all. So we are exploring every day into this unknown field, unfamiliar field. We're talking in the field of energy. So if we are getting certain experiences of visions, don't ignore them as hallucinations. Don't ignore them as thought. Many people do have these experiences. Some don't, but many do. Some do, some don't. It's up to you what you want to do with it. A lot of times they can bring in messages. Whatever that you're intending for you in your life, consciously, unconsciously. So a lot of times you are receiving messages towards them, what we are calling solutions, insights. Insight to overcome a fear, insight towards something that you're looking to solve, insight towards helping somebody. Everything ultimately, the underlying thread is it's going to help us towards more happiness. I mean, it's going to help us to be more happy, bring our happiness back, or bring that coherency back. So the experiences are there. This field of unknown, when you explore every day, there may be experiences that we may see, we may hear. We write them down. If it doesn't make sense to us, ignore it. We don't have to break our heads trying to figure out what it is. You're driving down, just like, I mentioned this before, just like, driving down on a road from place to place. If things are meaningful for you, see a billboard, if it doesn't make sense at all, ignore it, it's okay. But if a billboard comes 3 times the same thing, then you will pay attention. You say, let me understand what this is. So if you don't understand, ignore. But if something is there, which you have some interest, you don't know what it is, write it down. Sometimes that is so glaringly clear, it is telling you what to do, then you take an action again according to that. So the experiences are essentially tuning into the higher frequencies, tuning into the higher frequency, into the energy world. So then if we are as a group, sometimes you tune into what other person is thinking, or in a group, you're trying to find a group solution, you're able to connect to others. That's why you go back to the discussion and say, you know what, exactly what I was thinking. You tell that, another person also tell you that. Then you're matching up. Sometimes you do that, sometimes you don't, but you could be tuning into your group's frequency, and so you may be receiving their idea, or you're tuning into something larger that we don't even aware, we're not even aware, which also wants to help. For example, you have a mentor to your business, and you're working on some challenge. The mentor, at the same time, perhaps somewhere attending a conference, and then gets this, working at something similar, and is thinking about you. Oh, this may be useful to Jagadish sir. He's thinking there. And so then here we cast that signal. Because our in thought level, the signal is there. They're putting their attention onto you. Somewhere it appears very irrelevant. Somewhere in a conference, they feel that, oh, this is useful to this company, to Jagadish sir, so they think about him and then send that signal. That is useful. And then here, you're looking for a solution in the same field, you get it. In meditation, you may cast that frequency. Many say we are finding solutions to problems, and we do find. We do find from this inner voice, we call it, whatever name we give it, but then we do have those insights. So pay attention to them, and then we don't interpret in the meditation, but we come out and then write to them or remember them, do something with it, if it makes sense. If it doesn't make sense, we don't have to analyze, leave it. It's going to come back. If it requires to be so, it's going to come back in many other ways. That's the time to pay attention. So let's look into this emotional intelligence that we were trying to understand yesterday. Just to put the framework back, awareness is foundation for having great emotional regulation intelligence, self-awareness. And from that, we said the moment you have self-awareness, then generally you start becoming a little balanced in the way you express emotion. The more balanced you are, the more confident you are. And so the more confident you are, the more participate you become in life, in group setting, in situations, many situations. Usually the fear of losing out by expressing emotions wrongly and why we pull back. We don't participate. But now the more confident you become, then you start participating in a group setting. You'll go and then do it. You start expressing in a group. Earlier fearful. I used to be like so quiet. I used to be very, very quiet. What changes us is our environment. Our environment, we have right environment, it changes you. Then I went to BITS Pilani and my perspective, my outlook changed quite a bit because the environment is like that. Many people, cosmopolitan culture, people are talking, active, they're not quiet, they're not shy. So then you also sort of pick up some of that. Environment influences always. But then that is to a small extent, not a lot. I was like that close until 12. Fear of even speaking at all anyway. Completely fearful. Hesitation. Environment caused some change. And then I was carrying in my work and still individual contributor, but I'm able to express beautifully with small team. Small team, okay, you open up and then talk. You go into the very depth of it. But my real opening up happened when I came into meditation and then when I started practicing it, the losing fears and then very freely moving towards business roles and then being able to talk to clients, is wanting to go there and do it. And then many, many things happened as I progressed with my meditation. For some, it is a natural ability. The natural ability, nothing is natural. Everything comes from the past. It's just that they must have got no, must have done enough of meditations, enough of the stuff, then so naturally that happens. While there are many other ways to improve our ability to speak, ability to express in the public, meditation is greatly developing that expression because it gives us that courage, number one, because we disconnect from the fears of the past, it gives us the courage. Courage is natural. Gautam Buddha saying that I lost all the qualities that are not mine is because fundamentally we are a great love, fundamentally we are a great compassion, fundamentally we are a courageous being, fundamentally we seek unity, fundamentally we seek newness. These are natural qualities of us. It's just that we keep looking for them outside all the time. We keep unity, we want unity, so we keep go on looking for people to be with us outside, not recognizing that it is there from inside we create it. We want newness, so we constantly look for new experience, otherwise we're not happy, but we're seeking outside. Not recognizing we're seeking love from outside, from everybody. Everything, those are our qualities we forgot, and we're not looking inside, but instead looking outside everywhere, because that's what has been told. The real stuff is world. Everything is through the world. While things are there with the world, there's nothing to ignore everything in the world, but that's 0.01%. Matter is 0.01%. Energy is 99.99%. We've forgotten all that energy. We've forgotten the whole energy field of the consciousness that we can be a great friend with and in touch with. As the greatest mentor, it can help you. Recognize that as consciousness has everything with it, so it can help you. That's what we're talking. So self-expression, we said, we become confident, we start expressing well, positively, with pressure, positive pressure, not arrogantly, not overconfidently. We are confident, and then we positively talk about it. We're patient, so we're going to go and express it again, the second time and the third time. We are not cluttered in our mind, so we know what is important. And so then, because the meditation is helping to remove the clutter, so we know what's important for us. So we go back and then talk about it. Today, tomorrow, a week later, you sit down in your one-on-one. You make it happen. You make it happen. And so you express what is important for you, because what's important is what is standing out in your mind. unwanted stuff is removed. 95% unwanted thoughts are removed. 5%, most important for us, is bubbling up, becoming stronger. That voice, whatever you call it, become bubbling up. Very important things, your job change, your role change, being able to talk about the challenge you're having with that colleague. And at home, this stuff that I want to do with my friends, you're just not letting me as a child, and it's important for you, or we're going to bring it up to your parents. So self-expression, positively express. And so when we do that, automatically, dear friends, so there are a few things happening. We talked about this, that when we are courageous, we don't have fears anymore. Fearful, then we are, fear of what? Fear of, am I losing job? Fear of impact of the potentially hike, fear of, bad reviews. And all of these, then we stop talking truth. We slowly pull back and say, okay, why should I bother? Oh, this person, I don't even want to get into it. So much trouble it is. I don't want to deal with it. This is how we just pull back, ignore stuff, sweep under the carpet. But here, now we become a little more truthful. We become truthful because nothing to lose. That fear is not there. We start expressing. Once we're not colored with that fearful belief or thought, then we start expressing what naturally comes to us. And so we become truthful, we are integral, we stop managing people. Fears are there, we manage people. Managing is the first thing I learned to avoid managing. First thing I learned to avoid. Because managing people drains our energy, we lose energy, so much energy. We lose so much energy trying to manage. Hey, did they understand me? I'm coming late, and then I have to somehow go on, giving explanation to them. Oh, they don't like if I don't stay late, so I have to stay late. Some bosses, I used to have a boss right in the beginning of my career. I used to finish my work very, very focused. And so by 5:36, I'm done. But then this boss used to be there hanging around at office till 7:38. And so then if you don't stay, then he was making up, coming to conclusion that, oh, if you don't stay late until the boss is there, then they come to the conclusion that, okay, you're not working hard. You're not that sincere or not staying back. Forget about you completing the work in time. You just have to show up there and be there. I didn't do it. So it was not necessarily a great review for me in those years, in the initial 2 years or 3 years. But didn't bother. But I was confident and conscious to right to my consciousness that I am doing what is necessary for the company. What is necessary for the company, and I'm right to my consciousness and I'm doing it. So it doesn't have to be that you stay up late. But to manage him, many people are hanging around just like that, just to manage his stuff. We manage. You don't have to manage, dear friends, because eventually everything comes from our inside, the way you think about it. If you think he's going to do it, it's going to impact you, it's going to happen, because our thoughts are like that. I was very clear, hey, I'm finishing my work on time, and measurement, appraisal, it's going to be happening on that, so I'm going to do that way. So I didn't get excellent, but I was managed with very good. It's okay. Everything is relative grading. So self-expression, when we become truthful, when we are expressing what is important for us, and then we stop managing people, we start arguing with people. You understood this? So dear friends, so what happens, the moment you do that, arguing people means what? Why do you have to, you express it and then leave it? No? We don't need to go about, if somebody has got a point, you have a point. So what's the point? We recognize as a meditation that everybody has a view. Everybody's views can be respected. You express, they will say something, they don't have to argue. Okay, fine, I agree. I agree to disagree, but you have a view, I have a view. Somebody else will decide. Now, if you are the decision maker, then you're following your conscience. You're going to, rather than worrying about what they think or they feel bad because I'm going to say, override the decision. No. Now you're not fearful anymore. You're not holding yourself back with those limitations. So then you are telling, in a positive way, tell you what, this is so important for the organization, or for this project, or for this thing. Let's do it this way. It is okay. I recognize you. I recognize your ideas, enthusiasm, but this is how I feel in this situation must be done. We're going to say this. We acknowledge their feelings, but then we hold on to what we have to decide. So when we express what is important in self-expression, dear friends, then what happens is we start experiencing that is what is important to us. If I express what is important to me, and I say, you know what, I would like to meet clients once in every 2 weeks, because we have this internal joy wanting to meet new people, to do this firsthand, learn more knowledge. I'd like to meet clients every 2 weeks. Express it. You work on it. You're focused on it, because your meditation is helping you to stay focused. A lot of times what happens, we are very unhappy. One day we'll come do in a meeting, we talk about it. We ourselves forget about it. 2 months or 3 months later, we hit again ourselves with some of those missing things in our life. We go back and ask, because we're not focused. Meditation helps us to stay focused towards what's important. And so the more persistent we are in a positive way, with a hopeful way, because we no longer are colored by past, and we always are in hope, positive way. So then we are in coherency. So obviously it has got to come to us. So you express what's important, and then you get that. So you got now your manager is agreeing, even though your highest technical person is saying, okay, I'll figure this out. I have an opportunity. Let me inject you and introduce you into something or the other. It can't happen. See, everything is the way if that person has to put interest towards you, that's all it is. You have your attention now on what you want, and you express it. Now you are expressing in a way, now they put their attention onto you of what you want. That's all. Once they put their attention, they get plenty of opportunities. Now we ourselves conclude before, oh, my manager, anyway, ours is a very, very deep technical division somewhere far away. I don't think it's possible for him also, or for her also. What can she do? She can't enable me. We make a conclusion for them. Everything is limited by us. We draw a lot of lines around us, thinking that this is always possible. And if the more you remove the limitation, remove the past, and then you're in the present, you're expressing, and then you got your attention of your manager or the person, or your colleague, or your relative, or your family member, and they're thinking for you. The moment they start thinking for you, where you place your attention, they place your energy, and so they start attracting opportunities in a way that could satisfy you. That's how the creation works. It's not our business to know how it's going to happen. It's only our business to ask what is important. We get stuck in how. How is least of the botheration when it comes to quantum field of creation. So is the case with so is the case with developing, increasing, multiplying our experience by dealing with, working with people. So when you experience what is important, dear friends, then what happens? Of course, we are very, very happy. If I've gotten my travel to clients and meet them, if I've gotten the time at home to practice my music, if I've gotten time to go and then do my non-profit work, earlier my family was telling, no, how can you go? Anyway, 5 days you don't work, at least weekend you come and help, you can't go anywhere. I tell you that, but now you are positively expressing it, you got that. But you wanted to go. You wanted to go and then work for somebody, some non-profit. You want to help somebody. You're not allowed before, but you've gotten it. So you are obviously very, very happy. Even if you've done 1 hour of that thing, which is so important for you, you start becoming happy. When you are happy, you start liking whatever you're doing. See, initially we ask for what we want to experience. We say, the expression is that do what you love. That's where you start with. But the moment you introduce some of doing what you love, like an hour of practice of music a day, an hour of service work in the weekend, some regular travel to clients, or on every 2 months, having that weekend trips, whatever that is, nature trips to do trekking, your hobby. Some of those, when you start doing, automatically you start experiencing. So initially you do what you love, but then as you're happy with that, as you're satisfied with it, other things you accept them. You're not really bothered about them much. The work life was very, very tough. You're dragging on to work every day because there's no sweetness in it, because you're just not aligned to it anyway, not expressed. But now you express it either at home with friends or at work, and change the parameter a little bit. You got to what you want, and so you are happy. And you're happy, then you start liking whatever else you're doing. Steve Jobs said, you spend 40% of time at work, so don't ignore it. Figure out a way to love what you do. So you start with doing what you love by asking for it, doing what you love by asking for it, looking for it. There's a speech that he delivered for Stanford graduates. I think it's called Connecting the Dots of Whatever. Please look for it. Must listen to speech. So initially we look for what we love to do. But then as you start putting that into our life, and then we start liking everything else we do. If you got in 2 hours at home in the weekend to go and do the service, you come back, you'll be so charged up. You're going to help. The same thing before, setting up home or doing the dishes. All that was a big chore before, but now you're just joyfully doing it because no longer hassled up, because you're already full with what you wanted to experience. So, dear friends, what I'm saying is that when you experience what is important for you, then you start becoming inspirational because you are joyful with everything you're doing. You're joyful, and then so you are obviously going into the detail. You're a lot more attentive to what you're doing. The more go into the detail, you go into the flow. The more go into the flow, you become more productive. You're not complaining anymore because you got what you want, and so you are saying, okay, let me help what the other person wants. So then you are naturally working to your managers, your colleagues, because they allowed you to do something. You allow them to do what they want. So you take more ownership. You become more accountable. Accountability comes from when you're happy from inside. You become more accountable automatically. Nobody needs to tell you. You become manager's delight. You become family's delight. The people want to spend time with you. They're inspired the way you're carrying yourself. You're calm, you're happy. See, when you're happy, naturally you're sending that positive vibration. So people naturally feel good when they come into your contact. So they want to be more with you. See, that's the science of energy. Whatever emotion we express, whether we carry from inside, is what we rub it onto others around us. It's bound to happen. The reason why some of the natural original masters, not the fake masters, the original masters who are fundamentally carrying that love and compassion and joyful that they carry with them, then you like to be with them. You feel elated when you go away after a few hours of time with them. You feel very energetic because you receive a lot of that. So we become inspiration with our energy, with our words, with our action of going into the detail, more accountability, all of that. And so, dear friends, we become an inspiration to others. When we become inspiration to others, and so people start coming to us automatically. They want to spend time with you. They'll come and then confess about many challenges they have in life, because that's the beginning of great friendship with us. We have to become inspiration. We have to figure out and say, what is the value I'm doing every day in my life? What am I adding value to? How am I adding value to my company? Keep asking that question. To my company, to my family, to myself, what value am I adding? Am I just waking up and then eating and then just going and coming back? Is there anything that I'm contributing to? Because when you add value to even to yourself, where you turn yourself into a happy being, then you're adding value to others automatically. Better than on top of it, you help others. So when we are happy, when we become an inspiration, people are there around us. They want guidance. They're asking you, hey, tell me the secret of how you can be happy. Tell me, how can you go into so much detail? Tell me, how can you always be attentive on it? You are taking this stuff, accountability. I don't have to manage. I don't have to go on and chasing you for your status. You take it, you are completing it. So people come to you, they start talking to you, so then your quotient of understanding, empathy quotient increases. You understand others more. You become more considerate. See, when you don't have judgments, you start automatically becoming, when you're looking everything from neutral view, then we start seeing, when you're seeing neutral view without any judgment, oh, this guy anyway doesn't listen, so I don't think I should spend much time. If somebody like that is coming to you with a judgment, then you're not there with them. But if the judgment is dropped and people are coming to you, what's your natural ability? Natural ability is to listen, to give attention to somebody else. That's what our inherent internal quality is. Our quality is to unite with others, help others. It is a biased opinion which causing us to be selective. So that the moment that bias is disappear with meditation regularly, and so then we are in front of others with zero filter. Now, clear lens we are wearing, and so then we receive from them. We understand others more. We're becoming more considerate. We develop a lot of empathy, dear friends. We become empathetic. That means we understand their point of view. We stop judging, we stop complaining. Empathy means no judgment, no complaints. If you want to point about, if you want to give a feedback, let's don't take a feedback as a complaint. Complaint means I don't like what you're doing, and then you guys are, you are just not doing it right. The tone is different. Your intention is different. Giving feedback is, I acknowledge what you're doing, but here is something that I'd like to give. Now, if you're asked to give, but if you're not asked to give, but however, your responsibility is there to take care of course, you're going to you give the feedback. But there's a third time when you also give. When you feel, the only time I read this Scott Peck in his book, Roadless Travels, talks about it. It really caught my attention back in the beginning of my spiritual foray. You have a right to question somebody. You have a right to question somebody when you see that it's going to help them grow spiritually. See that it's going to help them grow spiritually. So a lot of times we interact with our family members. You question everything. Hey, why did you spend 1,000 rupees on it? Do you have to spend $25 for it for nothing? For everything we question for no reason. Oh, why you have to waste your time on just listening to the same thing again and again? Just go on questioning for everything because we have a version of how to live life. Question them when it is really going to help. Suppose they're of a complaining nature, they're complaining constantly, or they're putting themselves in a poor me. I'm so unlucky, things don't happen for me. If that's how they're behaving, that's the time to help them question, even though they don't ask for advice. You sit down and say, tell you what, when you complain, you're giving your energy away to somebody. You become helpless. Understand this. Recognize that you withdraw complaint and then look at it and say, why is this coming to you? And then you have a better way of dealing with the situation. So give that, you question that way, where it's going to help them to change fundamentally for a greater part of themselves. Not in this so many material experience you want to have. I want to go with my friends. Oh, you only went last week. Why do you want to do it? Okay, you want to go with your friends? Figure this out. Yeah, I'm sure you have many priorities. Up to you what you want to do. Give them the freedom. Help them to decide what they want to decide. It's called empathy. Understanding others from their perspective and letting them be. And no judgments, no complaints. Empathy. Everybody has a problem. Everybody has a challenge. You have a challenge. We also have gone through the same things they have gone through now. They're going through now. So being empathy, when somebody comes late, rather than just shouting at them or rather than saying or rather than forming an opinion, if someone is coming late every day, sit down. You sit down with them and say, what's going on? What's the challenge? We're empathetic, you're going to ask them. You know what? Somewhere, something in family situations, I got caught up into this big mess. So every day I struggle through it and I come late. Our perspective changes. Then we look to see how to help rather than how to pounce on the person and how to isolate the person. We give leeway. We educate the team and say, you know what, we got to exclude this person and excuse them, no problem. They'll come late, it's okay. But let's be there on time. We have to give those, as an empathetic manager, we have to take cases deal by case, not can be one rule fits all. Some managers are very fearful. Oh, you're not doing discipline, then it's going to rub on to everybody, so you must be there no matter what. No, it doesn't help me. Your problems are your problems. That's not how it works. So we become very empathetic when we are joyful and happy, when people are coming to us, and then our quality, and you are regularly meditating, not colored with past. And so we are empathetic in helping understand. We are giving them rope. And I've seen this with Patriji. I used to give so much rope, maximum rope to people. Some of them, they come with the same disbelief, same mistrust. Some of them don't like what is, maybe they're doing it. But then I gave a rope, even though they don't like what is the way things are happening. Any organization has politics, dynamics, many things happen. But still, he had so much patience, so much rope. He would give and go on giving and giving. And somebody comes, it becomes zero of the past. You never entertain complaints. People come in and say something, he used to have a tough time even to say anything against anybody. He used to give, not that he didn't know, but then he used to give maximum rope to people. We give maximum consideration. Give and give and give. And then at some point, then you have a conversation. If it's impacting your work significantly, you're going to have a conversation. And a friendly conversation, empathetic. So support them in their new pursuits, depending on the situation. Rather than saying that, hey, it doesn't work, you and me, so please resign and then let's go. That's not being empathy. So dear friends, we become empathetic, and so naturally we are a great friend to people. Empathy means we're allowing failures to happen. If somebody messed up yesterday in their submission of their delivery or whatever, then your empathetic means you say, yes, it has happened to me in the past. I know it, I understand it. And so then allow that to happen and say, hey, sit down and then give another chance. That's when you encourage newness. That's when you encourage creativity. If you pounce on a failure, then you're not having stifling creativity. An empathetic manager is encouraging so much innovation. Automatically, creativity thrives. Creativity thrives. So, dear friends, this characteristic here is that rather than looking at what is in it for me, you look at what's in it for others. This is the fundamental switch happens with meditation, with the understanding of all of this. The switch is every time you're going to an engagement, a transaction, a conversation, how can I add value to others is your fundamental nature. In a client meeting, you become real. As a salesperson, you become real salesperson where you're in spirit. You're supposed to add value, and so then automatically you, in return, it brings you value. But then first you think about how to add value. Am I selling too much? Is it really relevant? You become consultative in our discussion. You don't mind walking away from a meeting with a client didn't have the need, rather than trying to push on it. Because the concept here is different. You see the other person as you. What you don't do unto others, what you don't do unto yourself, don't do to others. What to do unto yourself, do unto others. Jesus Christ. So we do that. Our agenda is not pushed. Yes, we're looking at it saying, what is it I can help enable other people? So, dear friends, from there, last thing is the moment we became, the natural leader, people are coming to us, they're confiding, and then we become empathetic to theirs, so they want to do friendship with you. So you have a set of people through whom you can engage more. You can engage more. So you take on a lead. Ratanavel, engaging more. He took on a lead to take book clubs. He engages more. He has taken the lead initiative. He said, I want to take the book clubs. Last time I asked him, Rathanvel, 1 year over. So, no, sir, I want to continue. Okay, great, continue. You feel a responsibility, you take initiative because you become a natural leader. You become a magnet. People are there with you because they want your friendship, because they fundamentally see you add value to them. So you become a leader. So everyone may start with a follower because we all become leaders. We are leaders of our life. We all lead. We all help. Leading as by now we know it, it's not by authoritative leadership, it's by servant leadership or enabling leadership. So, dear friends, meditation, when I understand the form of emotional intelligence, a reaction to response. We become we more and more situations, we are more thoughtful in our response, and we stop doing abrupt reactions. Emotional intelligence, most important aspect of it. Plenty gets developed through meditation and meditation. Emptying the mind, becoming, being in that field as much, empty. However struggling it may be initially, it gets better and better. We must have this. Then rather than managing people, being honest, truthful, expressing what we need, managing ourselves too. The expression is the biggest benefit. When we express it, we are the biggest beneficiary. We, individual, are the biggest beneficiary. Because we let out of whatever that we feel fundamentally. Then our health becomes great. We become light. We start creating what we want. All by expression. So instead of managing and keeping quiet and holding on to ourselves, we express it. And so you become more honest. Then instead of doing what you love initially and all the time saying for me, but then with meditation, as you get what you want with expression, you start loving what you do. The switch will happen. Do not complain. People going to work, don't complain if you are serious enough meditator. You accept it. Many reasons. Next week you'll understand spiritual intelligence. If I'm experiencing something today, it's because I've drawn it into my life. You don't reject what you're experiencing. You take responsibility for everything you experience. And so then you accept, you take it. And then of course you work towards changing if you don't like it. But then there's no complaint about what we're experiencing today, because we recognize if I accept what I'm experiencing, I'm coherent, and that is the basis for me to create my new future. If I keep resisting and rejecting, and I keep getting frustrated, I try to create a new future, it takes more time. Because you work as separate from the field. You understand all of these concepts, so you are loving what you do. And your what is in it for me is moved to what is in it for others in every situation. Every interaction is always thinking, how can I add value? And then, dear friends, we are engaging. We become a natural leader and we engage. We are leaders, we rally, we take initiatives, and we do greater work with people. It's not necessarily at workplace. Leadership, you take an initiative and say, I'm going to organize the event for all of us, guys. This weekend, let's go. Full moon day is coming. Let's do it. Malaysia is doing it. Leadership. I'm going to take initiative and then do it. How long you want to be following? How long you want to feed on somebody else? When can I continue to add? When can I start adding value? Thank you, dear friends, for joining and understanding this concept. We can take it to any level, emotional intelligence, but all in the spirit of experiencing more in life. All in the spirit of experiencing more in life. Ranjanaji, please say a few words to conclude this session.
Namaste, Chandra sir. Namaste, all masters. You can hear me, right?
Yes.
What a beautiful journey so far. It's been just awesome. Like I had mentioned in one of the breakout sessions, that I am trying to live a miraculous life. trying my best not to, and I do get angry every now and then, but I realize it and I'm working on it more and more.
Madam, if you don't get angry, something wrong with us. If you don't get angry, right? So get angry, no
Thank
problem.
you.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Recover from the anger pretty quickly. That's important.
Yes, I
You work towards
do. I do
recovering. So
recover.
next moment you are happy, turning and putting your hands around and say, "Come, let's go."
Yes, I
Yeah.
do that. Yes, thank you. Yes, it's just been awesome journey so far. I started meditation just for the newcomers at since 2020, the beginning of the COVID, and no looking back. It's just been the greatest journey and something that I did, and I'm very proud of it that I am continuing it, and I will continue for the rest of my life. It's just beautiful. Thank you. I thank you.
Awesome.
Heartfelt gratitude. Every day is a gratefulness for every single thing. I'm very, very grateful.
Thank you, Ranjit. Doing so much leadership. Every time you go, you organize sessions for us. Thank you.
Yes, I'm trying.
And you're the first
I
one.
just, yes, I spoke to my library. So once I find out your dates, like, maybe couple, 2 hours, they can give us 2 hours on a Saturday and 1 hour on a weekday. So.
Yes, madam. I'm waiting for that day. I'm waiting because you have so much in you. You can easily go on and teach in the library every week. Ushaji has so much there.
Yes.
You can do it. There are so many people are waiting for her to listen and do this. 2 hours of time in a week. If you do it, even if 20 people come, they learn meditation one sitting, at least one of them will change their life. Forever they'll be thanking you.
Yes.
You have it all. You have it all. Just have to decide and say, I'm going. That's it. It's going to come.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you, dear friends. We'll see you tomorrow again. Thank you. Okay. Those who have windows open are the same people who have the windows open. No one knew, want to express. We had such a long conversation about self-expression.
Sir, a small announcement is there tomorrow.
Yeah, please do.
So, dear masters, tomorrow there will be an experiential sharing of youth panel, how they transform their lives and how the meditation helped them, which will be very interesting, masters. So please do join the session. It will be after the regular meditation. So please do join and listen to their young minds, how they transform their lives. Thank you.
Yes. Manaji garu, That'll be
Yes,
a very powerful panel. Every time we had youth panel, we just loved it.
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes. Yes, Sanjuji. What's new with your community of meditators?
Namaste, sir. Namaste, everyone present here.
Yes.
After so many days, I have joined because there was a festival back to back in my region. And I'm experiencing so many things.
Where is it coming from?
There is some sounds coming. Yes. So I'm from Ranchi, Jharkhand. Jharkhand, capital of the Jharkhand. City of MS Dhoni.
City of MS Dhoni. Okay, I love that. Okay.
Yes.
Parajit, city of Sanju Madam too.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
It's a beautiful place, surrounded with so much nature, so many heritage places. Sir, in last session that I had attended before Deepavali, I think, I had a suggestion that those people who who are not so much comfortable with English language, they must be encouraged to express themselves in Hindi also, so that they can express them better. That's why. Yet they must be motivated to learn other languages also, because all the languages are just media to express. So no language is good or bad. All languages are good and nice and must be learned, because they are just a media to express. That's why I'm also not so much good in English, but yet here in this place, at this platform, I have learned to express in this language. This is my, I can say, a new achievement for me. Really. Thank you so much.
Madam, the rule is majority.
Sir?
The rule, the guideline is always majority.
Okay.
While we don't stop from somebody from expressing,
yes,
you always navigate towards majority view. View meaning is not majority. Where it is helpful, you do it. So while we don't stop, but we don't go on announcing and saying express in your own language and anything, then it will become a multi-language session. It's no longer misses its point and objective.
Yes.
While we're not against somebody, so somebody has deep feeling of expression, we always said yes, do it. Making announcements every day saying express in your Hindi, Telugu, Tamil, Kannada, and all languages, then we miss the point. So 5%, 1% of this, all they start talking about it. Then people in English, they don't know. 70% English, they don't understand. So it miss the point. So always remember, when you're doing any public thing, while we understand inclusivity, but then we go with majority. That's the right thing to do. Because then your time and others' time is beautifully spent. Not to say that we ignore others.
Yeah.
There has to be appropriate programs from others in the right way. There are so many channels are there. Suppose you don't understand English. Hindi is there. So PMC Hindi, Master Bano, brilliant program. Master Bano by PMC Hindi. PMC Telugu, some other program. They're all there.
Okay. Okay.
Nobody ever misses anything. Remember this point, madam. Nobody ever misses anything because they're always complete.
Yeah, true.
They are going to get it in the right place, right time.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll tell you, if somebody, let's say, cannot speak in Hindi, but they're seeing what they'll see here, they want to express it. But if they're not adequately, they will make their attempt to find an Hindi forum, and it'll be doing them a lot greater good than being here. Because the 40 days they listen to the whole lecture, they understand so well, they express, they learn from others, so it'll do a lot more greater good for them than to have them bound here in this forum. So many dynamics are there, madam. It's not just many dynamics are there. Okay?
Yeah.
So follow this. So the majority will follow it.
Yeah. Okay.
We used to have this conversation and spiritual functions, right? And Patriji used to hold Buddha Purnima in Pyramid Valley. Buddha Purnima, people from all over the world will come. I mean, all over India will come. But there is a majority are 50% Telugu, maybe 30% Kannada, or 60% Telugu. Majority is always there. And there are some Hindi, there are some, of course, only English, like the different, there are some Malayali. What to do? You have to speak some way, he spoke. There's the same challenge everywhere when you have large groups.
Yeah.
But he always chose, and the clarity was clear that while we have nothing against those who cannot understand, it is just as an objective of this, and so we do it that way. Majority, go with majority.
Actually, I'm from Hindi region, and I recommend Buddha CEO. I recommend, I have spread the words to join here. So many people, they are not so much comfortable with this English language, but still I told them that just join it and go through it. You will learn something new always. This is what I said to them. And for those who really don't understand English, for them, I conduct sessions, meditation sessions for them in Hindi.
So exceptions are always there. So you already know who they are. Tell them to express in Hindi. No, we never said no. Sufficient, no? Rather than me announcing and say everybody express in Hindi. Do it, number one. But I'm glad that you said that. You're already teaching in Hindi.
Yes.
Beautiful. Please launch a 3-week or 6-week program and then take this in Hindi. You're very, very capable to do this.
Okay.
Buddha say Hindi, let's form a team and do it. Why not? If you feel this is helpful. Of course, Master Bano Hindi is there. If you look at that and say, I'd like to take that perspective.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. I'll think about it. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Yes.
To move to contact, sir, for this. इसके लिए इनसे contact करूँ मैं?
Contact, let's start with Koti, or your facilitator.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Yes, Sumaji.
Yeah, first of all, everlasting gratitude to our Pyramid Valley Guru. And I must say that a lot of gratitude also because, seeing you and hearing you every morning, it's such an inspiration for all of us, I'm sure. And grateful to the universe for that. And I mean, you have to bless us, but I really grateful to the universe to see you every morning. Having said that, is it okay to ask you a question?
Yes.
Oh, well, a clarification actually. So I'm a little bit perplexed, whether I'm getting this right. When you say gratitude is the best form of receivership from the quantum field, receivership, is a little bit,
Everything.
can you clarify?
From everything.
From everything.
Sure. Yeah, when receivership from the field is everybody and everything.
And so gratitude is the best form of receivership means. That you should be grateful for whatever you get from everywhere. Is it that?
By being in gratitude for something, we are becoming more coherent with the field. Rather than saying, I don't have. Gratitude, you're saying, I'm happy that I have something. Right? So that means you are one with, you're not separate. When do you say you don't have? So the concept is you are the field, you are the whole. When I say I don't have something, then you are disowning your own wholeness. You are coming out of it. And I say you don't have something. So gratitude helps you to be in the field because you say, I have this, I have that. I'm happy for having the air to breathe. So then you're owning it, you're part of the field. The idea of that is, so with gratitude is send a positive, higher vibration signal. So then automatically you are coherent with the field. When you are the field coherency, then you are receiving help from others, help from the field, because that's the nature. When we talked about this, if two people, if you're friendly with somebody, they obviously have a chance of helping you with something, right? It's like that. You're friendly, you're coherent means you're friendly with everything. So the energy fields are matching, and so then you receive, your ability to receive from everybody and everything at the point. More.
So I want to extend this a little bit. You also say that I accept is very important, right? Acceptance. So this I acceptance, I mean, sometimes things are not working out or something is negative in your life. So I accept that also with gratitude, or I accept it.
You find something else. Suppose you don't like somebody is saying a few words at us, but we always have something for that person, which we are happy for. So you basically are saying, think of something larger that is there to which we are happy for, so that you can have the ability to drop this part out now. If it is nothing with that person, then you change the thing to something bigger, as simple as being able to live today and still happy. Okay, fine, and it is very worse, but I'm living there. So many people not even have it. So get to the basics, right? And so then we move ourselves into a coherency mode than to be a frustrating mode. That's all it is. So gratitude helps us to go into an acceptance of our current state, switches our state from separate and acceptance state. That's what we're saying. Not that particular event. That event where they said nasty words to us, and so they're trying to say, oh, I accept this with the greatness and all that. It doesn't work. Right? Not that. But if you see something larger from that person or situation, express gratitude towards it. We require awareness to be able to go into that level. Awareness.
I understand, seeing the positive part of everyone.
Correct. Seeing the positive.
This morning you also talked of relationships, and you also said that if that relationship is sort of not helping you evolve, then you must break away, whether it's your boss or whatever, So you also talked about that, and so how does that fit into the scheme of things?
That fits. This fits. Spirituality is living on every entire scale of nothing to wholeness. We are nothing, we are everything. It's always, everything is that way. So you are with somebody and then it just does not work, and then constantly, that means you're misaligned in the first place with the relationship, with the objectives of whatever that you come here with. You don't have enmity with them. There is no enmity, but it's just that the interests are different, and so you're better off to be walking your path separately and create your own groups. The interests are different. So when we meet, we're still friends. Okay, I recognize you, I respect you, do that, and I do this. So that's why what she's talking about is, next week we'll understand that we'll develop friendships. From relationship, where they get dissolved, we become really friendship. What we have is friendship. So then what happens? two people that are in relationship, but then friendship is there. I accept you, you accept me. I accept you the way you are, you accept me the way I am. So we don't need to especially break something out. It's truly what is there is friendship. You allow me to do what I'm doing, I allow you to do what you're doing, so it's fine. But when we are together doing something, it's multiplied. Otherwise, we are happy doing what we're doing. That's where we go to. This week, we are enhancing relationship. In that context, we say, yes, if it doesn't serve you, it is okay. Move to change to something that serves you. When next we do friendship, so it doesn't matter. Everything works for you.
Isn't this easier said than done? Because you're asking for a transformation, right, of the relationship. Is it okay to ask you something personal here? I don't know.
We'll do in one-on-one, madam. If it's beneficial to everybody, then we'll do it here.
All right. Because I just wondering, you've done meditation for so long, and how did it affect your relationship with Vani ma'am?
We have our own stuff.
Friendship?
Don't think that we don't have discussions. We don't have heated arguments. There are less and less and less of them. Less and less of them.
But the transformation to friendship happened?
Significantly.
Oh, great.
Significantly.
That's all I wanted to know.
We find ways, but over a period of time when things are aligned, you're doing and then she's also doing what your interests align, so it becomes more easy. But many families I know where one is doing another, one part, another is doing another, but it's still fine. They are living with that friendship understanding, which means you stop arguing, stop rejecting each other. Yeah, that naturally develops.
Okay, but didn't it require effort from both parties then?
It requires effort is what we think, but then it has to start from somewhere. So if we recognize we are complete, if we recognize I'm infinitely powerful with my energy, then the more we raise our energy, automatically we rub it on others, so they start changing too. It's bound to happen. We've seen it all the time.
It's a very tall order to first realize your Tattvamasi and then to move from there. This is a Vedanta.
Madam. It's if you spend 60 years of life, 6 months, if you can sincerely practice, if you want to really make a change, in 6 months a huge difference will come.
So since you're my guru, I will accept that.
Okay.
Work towards it and let you know in 6 months.
Okay. We just have to be sincere. We are saying 3 things as a practice, right? It's not meditation alone. We have to continue to enhance our knowledge and apply it, right? We got to continue to take action. Today, for example, when I said those 6 things about limiting beliefs, about relationship, we question ourselves strongly on it. We have a conversation about it with a partner or with a friend or the son or child, whoever that is, or a colleague. And say, tell you what, this is the thing that is coming in. Have the conversations or have a contemplative practice inside to say, how can I move in the next situation? How can I change? How can I express instead of keep quiet? And some of these have to be moved into. So we must learn constantly, meditate, and then interact. Our practice is interaction with others, because a lot of times we get the strength to act. Theory becomes practical after seeing some practical examples. We have strength to act by listening to others. So we have to interact. Invariably, if we go to a group of meditators and then do practical physical sessions, invariably we attract those people who have something to give us in our life. Invariably, that's how this universe is so beautifully set up, madam. It's always respond with intention. So you may say, oh, 5 people only are there in my group as a meditators here, but set up that group and work with them. Many times, most of our needs are met through them in the way we can move forward. Okay.
But isn't but the bottom line then really becomes self-awareness. That's the bottom line.
Bottom line is self-awareness.
Yeah.
Whether awareness, awareness keeps going away. Awareness keeps going away because of the illusionary nature of the world. So we keep getting go back. So that's where all 3 practice will help. That's where all 3 will help. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay.
So, can we take one more?
we will do it tomorrow.
Okay.
Thank you. All right. So since there's no breakout room tomorrow, so we're not meeting facilitators today. So thank you all. See you tomorrow. Thank you.
Living in prosperity and free of scarcity. Oh yeah, I allow myself to be. Oh yes, I am wealthy, successful and happy. Oh yeah, I'm grateful to be wealthy. Oh yeah, I value myself and I know that I am worthy. Money's always flowing right to me. Oh, I am wealthy. I give generously. Oh yeah, I am wealthy. Letting go of all
Well,
worries.
thank you.
Thank you all. We'll meet you all tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. IST. Have a great day.